Thanks for staying with us on Channels Television. Welcome to Health Matters. I am Yomi Otaigbe. Today on the show, it will be discussions around reproductive health, particularly looking at family planning and the benefits that come from engaging in family planning. We have in the studio this morning a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist who is also the chairman Lagos sector of the Society of Gynecology and Obstetricians of Nigeria. Dr. Joseph Akinshola, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
So we are talking about family planning.
Yes.
Tell us, what does it entail? What is family planning?
Now, family planning is, you could say, is a decision taken voluntarily. Mind that word. It is a decision taken voluntarily on the basis of adequate knowledge by an individual or a couple, so that they can live responsibly and have the number of children they can afford, and thereby promoting their health and contributing to socio-economic development of the society. You know, it is a decision. You've adopted it based on knowledge. It is voluntary, and you have decided, I'm going to do so and so in order to promote the health of myself or a couple, if it's a married individual, so that overall it will be to their benefit of their health. And then, of course, we know a healthy individual is a wealthy individual, so they'll be able to contribute meaningfully
in the society. Okay, so I'm interested in that voluntary part of it. Why did you emphasize on voluntary?
Because nobody is being coerced to it. At the end of the day, the benefits are enormous. The benefits, both in the long and the short run, are usually to the individual. Because we are talking of the health benefits. Is it the economic benefits? Who, at the end of the day, stands to benefit, to derive a greater measure. It is the individual who decides to have the number of children. Family planning does not say you shouldn't have children. It says have the number that you can conveniently afford to take care of at the time you want them, at the interval you want them. And so they said family planning involves, it avoids, if you embrace it, avoids the syndrome of too soon, too many, too early, too late, and too, those too soon, too early, too many, and too late. What am I saying in effect is this? You decided you are going to have 5 children. You space them out, not having them every year. And the benefits are enormous. Or, so nobody is not forced down your throat. You take that decision because you have seen the benefits. That's why you are embracing it. That's why the word voluntary is important. Okay, so the World Health Organization has said that over 200,000 women don't get the kind of services, family planning services, they need in sub-Saharan Africa. Tell us about the burden in Nigeria. What is it like, you know, family planning services? How readily available are they? Yeah, family planning services are readily available. But the problem of the truth of the matter is that I guess the National Demographic Health Survey that was done in 2015 or thereabout showed, usually when you talk of family planning, the index that is used to measure that is what is called the contraceptive prevalence. Nationally, it's about 13.5%. It's about the poorest in Africa. So, although what we find out is that a lot of our women know about family planning, a lot of our men know about family planning, but they do not embrace it. They do not make use of it. So we have a lot of issues. The problem, there's a gap between the knowledge and the usage. A lot of people know about it, but a lot of our people do not make use of it. And
there are several myths around family planning. We'll come to that. Let's talk about the different methods that we have, you know, in terms of contraception.
Now, there are different methods. Now, generally, you could divide the method into what you call traditional method or modern methods. Even before now, our parents seem to embrace some form of family planning. I remember growing up, if you remember, in the days of old, one of the things that grandparents did was probably to marry 2 or 3 wives. Why do they do that? One of the reasons they do that is that they did that then was one. Once a woman is nursing the baby, the husband stays away from her until she wins that baby and she's ready to get pregnant. And that interval, the man goes on to another wife. Okay? Now,
of course, that comes with its own side effects.
Side effects. But even then, these are grandparents and old people. They have different methods. They have some amulets, some charms, some waistbands, which they use.
Do those things work?
They do work. They work.
Okay, but there is no science behind it. So let's talk about the one that.
But then when you talk of the modern methods, we have the modern methods. When you talk of modern methods, we have what we call the natural method, which is the redeem period, or what we call the safe period. When you talk of the safe period, you know, women usually menstruate once in a month on the average, but yeah, once in about 28 to 30 days. Within that period of 28 days, there are certain limited number of days that the woman can only get pregnant, which is when ovulation has taken place. Now, what the redeem method does is the woman avoids having sex with her husband during that interval, during which she get pregnant. And even I know of certain faith, the Catholic faith, for example, believes only in what they call the Billy's ovulation method, which is a means whereby the woman monitors her ovulation. She's able to know when she's fertile, and she's able to know when she's not fertile. And during the period she's fertile, she does not want to make a baby, she stays away from it.
But will that work for every woman?
It doesn't work for every woman.
Okay.
But it's some form of method. Okay. It is.
So before we move to another one, let's quickly talk about the merits and demerits of that kind of method.
The merit is that the failure rate is very high. But it's natural. It's natural.
It doesn't come with side effects.
It doesn't. The only side effect is that you get pregnant. You may have an unwanted pregnancy when you don't plan it.
Okay, let's move to...
The success rate, but it's better than not doing anything at all. Now, we also have people also they improve upon that, talking about the basal body temperature, whereby the woman takes her temperature every morning on waking up. And usually there's a dip and a rise in temperature at ovulation period. Now, but you see, you need to be educated. You need to be able to know how to read the thermometer.
How to read it.
These are some of the problems with this basal body temperature method. Then we have the lactational amenorrhea method. You know, before I went to medical school, I knew an uncle's wife. Anytime she's nursing a baby, she does not see her period for about 18 months. Some women, once they are breastfeeding, they don't see their period for 18 months. During that period, they are not ovulating, they cannot. But this lactational amenorrhea method is only effective for about 6 months in most women. And that provides that you do what we call exclusive breastfeeding. But you know, these days, women don't do exclusive breastfeeding. No. So that lactational amenorrhea method also, beyond 6 months, is not usually very effective. Then we also have different other methods. We have what we call the combined oral contraceptive piece, where the hormones ordering the woman's reproductive system are available as tablet, and they can be used on a daily basis. Apart from that, we also have this contraceptive piece is available as injectables.
Yes.
We also have implants. We have implants. We have what is called the mini pills, which contains only just one hormone. And then we also have the intrauterine contraceptive devices. Of course, we have the permanent method, both for men and for women. Mm-hmm. We have vasectomy in the case of the man, and we have tubal ligation in the case of the woman. Those are permanent methods. They call them sterilization.
Before we continue in this, you know, when it comes to family planning issues, most people will look towards the woman, and, you know, that's natural. But you have mentioned one now for the men, which is vasectomy. Permanent, though. Is there any other one that
Yes, okay.
a man can...
Just before, I forgot to mention the male condom. Just as we have the male condom, we also have the female condom, which are barrier methods.
And so the male can also use
yes.
the barrier method.
Yes, it's true that most of the time when you talk of family planning, the tendency is to think it's a woman affair. But the truth of the matter is that family planning takes into cognizance the fact that it has to be a joint thing. It's a couple thing. It's something that involves both the man and the woman. It's true the woman bears the brunt of the pregnancy, but then for the health of the family, for the health of the society, it's often good for the man to also come on board because, God forbid, if anything happens to that woman as a result of having too many children, the man has a lot of burden on his neck. He won't be able to organize himself.
And of course, if they've had children, he will have to deal with them all alone by himself. Them, yes. So the importance of family planning cannot be wished away. You have mentioned some of them earlier. You know, it allows a woman to space the children or the family, you know, the husband and the wife coming together to say, this is the number of children that we want, or this is the time that we want it. Them. Tell us more about the benefits.
Now, when you talk of the benefits, now, you know, each pregnancy takes a toll on the health of the woman. So when a woman desires to limit the number of children she has, there are obvious health benefits. The woman's health will not suffer. In fact, every day, on the average, it's often said all over the world, right now, about 365,000 women die as a result of pregnancy, delivery, and complications after birth. So when a woman dies in the course of that pregnancy, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. And if the woman had not been pregnant, she would not have died. So, in fact, it is said that family planning alone avoids about 30% of the deaths, could prevent 30% of the deaths that do occur as a result of pregnancy and its complications.
And in Nigeria, we have our own fair share of maternal mortality.
You know, Nigeria is
more
notorious.
Than our fair share, you would say.
Nigeria is notorious for a number of things. We are the poverty capital of the world. It's now been said, Yahoo. Perhaps Nigeria.
That doesn't define us. It does not. It doesn't.
Now, but when it comes to maternal mortality, women dying as a result of pregnancy, childbirth, and after childbirth, I think we have overtaken India. Nigeria is probably number one. So we lose more women than India. India used to be number one, but I think as far back as December 2018, Nigeria overshot India, and we are number one all over the world now in terms of the countries losing women as a result of pregnancy.
That's like over 570 something out of 100,000 live births. Yes. That's huge. That's huge. I think we'll just go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about family planning and what you can do to help yourself and your family to stay healthy. To stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking family planning, and if you want to join us in this conversation, you can call us on 0805-468-3514, and that's the number that will be showing or is showing on your screen. Doctor, let's look at, because sometimes family planning services, you say they're available, but where exactly should whoever takes this service, where should they go? Who should provide this service?
Now, the services are available all over the place, and government has made tremendous efforts. Government, along with NGOs, made efforts to ensure that people have access. Now, if you go to any of the basic health centers, most of the basic health centers all over the country offer family planning services. Now, what the NGOs have also done is to ensure that some of these commodities can be distributed through what they call community-based officers. That's even in the village. You have the patent medicine dealers being able to offer some of the contraceptive methods, like either the oral contraceptive methods, the injectables. Some of these can be readily gotten from even patent medicine dealers. So they are readily available. We have the general hospitals, we have the teaching hospitals. So all cadres, all levels of healthcare in Nigeria offer family planning services.
Okay, so if you go to a primary health center, you should be able to
you should be able to access it.
You know, okay.
A general hospital. And then there are also standalone family planning clinics run by NGOs, like Planned Parenthood Federation of Nigeria, I'm aware, runs family planning clinics, designated family planning clinics
around the country. Okay, I think we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, I'm Donatis. I'm calling from Akwa Ibom.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, concerning the family planning that I just saw on the television. Okay, if a woman takes family planning and she still conceives, does it mean that the family planning is not working or the policy system is not working?
Okay, thank you. So if it fails?
The truth of the matter is that most of the family planning methods are not 100% effective. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of the methods are 95 to 99.9% effective. So it's better to do something rather not to do it. But you, of course, have the occasional case of failure. So we do have cases of instances where the family planning method has failed. And there are so many reasons.
Has failed as a result of what?
There are so many reasons why some of them may fail. I'll give you an example. The oral contraceptive pills, which is supposed to be taken on a daily basis, if the person does not take it as at when due, or she misses a dose or 2 doses, that could result in a failure. Let's talk of the intrauterine contraceptive device. After it is inserted, you are supposed to go back to your health provider and check that it's properly still in place. In some instances, the client does not turn back, and the device may have been displaced. So these are some of the reasons why some of these things may fail. Then for the injectables, a client is supposed to have an injectable every 3 months or every 2 months. The date has been due. She didn't turn up, and she thinks she's still protected. So these are some of the reasons why some of this.
Or perhaps it could also be that, because I understand that before you take any method of family planning, you need to know which one would work for you, because there are body differences.
Yeah, the doctor will have to examine you, the provider will have to examine you.
Because that's very important too.
Considering your body system, your history, your social history and everything,
they'll be able to say this is the one that could work for you.
Or let's say, for example, the common one, which is available all over the whole place, the condom. The condom, a number of people don't know how to use the condom.
Okay, let's be joined by this caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, ma.
Thank you for joining us.
Hello,
please go ahead.
It's Rejoice from Abuja.
Go ahead, please.
Hello, ma. Ma, please. I did a family planning on the one they insert. Yes. And when I went there, were to me and my friend. And my friend, the first question they asked us, does it have anything that has to do with VP, your VP being high? And she said yes. And she also wanted to do it at that moment. They told her to bring her husband because of her VP condition. Is there anyone good for that kind of people? Because right now she cannot go for anyone yet because of her VP. She's also scared that she doesn't know the outcome of it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this is what we were talking about.
Perhaps the best method for such a client that has blood pressure is the intrauterine contraceptive device.
No, but that would also be determined by the doctor.
Yes,
so she needs to see her doctor again.
It doesn't affect her BP.
So she needs to see her doctor again, yes. And then they can work out.
Counselor.
Yes, on what...
method is best suited for her.
Okay. All right. So in terms of the side effects, you have mentioned that because this is perhaps one of the reasons also that some women don't go for it. They say, once I start on this, start getting bloated, all of those issues. Is it something that we can also work out?
Now, usually, before a patient is offered a method, that patient will be interviewed, or the client will be interviewed. And when you are doing the interview, what do you want? You want to know her age. You want to know her parity, how many children has she had. You want to know her reproductive history. You want to know her social habits. Does she smoke? Does she indulge in alcohol? Does she indulge in multiple sexual partners? You take a detailed history, apart from, and then you also examine her. Does she have any medical condition?
So those are some of the questions and things to look out for.
Is she breastfeeding a baby?
Okay, so, we have another caller. Sorry, hold your thought. Hello.
Hello, madam.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Paul is my name. I'm calling from Delta State. Hello.
Go ahead. We can hear you clearly.
Yeah, Jonathan is my name. I'm calling from Delta State.
Go ahead, please, John.
My wife started that family planning matter. So now, she started is giving trouble now. That thing does not, is bleeding from time to time. It doesn't stop again. So what is the way forward?
Okay, thank you.
The way forward is to go back to your provider. They may have to discontinue that method and offer her another method. Or they may have to sort out the reason why she's bleeding and she continues with the method.
Just in case is another thing that
is causing the bleeding.
Okay, let me bring this in. Recently there was this engagement, this support group talking about Safe Engage, talking about the quantum of unsafe abortion in Nigeria. And one of the reasons that, what came up is that not many people go for family planning. And so they have unwanted pregnancies that they go take out through abortion, particularly unsafe abortion. Even though in Nigeria we don't have, it's not legal for you to go have abortion except it's for medical reasons. Tell us about the need for taking this family planning issue seriously so that we can avoid unsafe abortions.
Now, like I said, perhaps the number one reason why a woman resort to unsafe abortion is because they have an unplanned, or what we call an unwanted pregnancy. I said one of the benefits of family planning is that it avoids pregnancies when you do not need them. And it's been shown that family planning, if used effectively, can prevent as many as 30% of maternal deaths. So when a woman uses family planning and she uses it effectively, she will determine when she wants to get pregnant. She will have her babies at the time she wants them, and she will have the number she wants. So the issue of an unwanted pregnancy does not arise. And in that case, you won't have to resort to abortion. A number of them, when they have an unwanted pregnancy, knowing that they cannot get a legal termination, resort to abortions. And usually it is done clandestinely by quacks, by unqualified hand, or in an environment that is not sanitary enough. And then what then happens? We have complications. In actual fact, of the women that die as a result of pregnancy and its complications, as many as 11 to 13% of them are as a result of unsafe abortions.
So family planning
ensures that our women avoid unwanted pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies, and thereby they avoid resorting to unsafe abortions.
Thank you.
Women should embrace family planning.
Thank you so much for joining us today to enlighten us more on family planning and the importance of it. We've been having a chat with the consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, who is also the chairman, Lagos sector of the Society of Gynecology and Obstetrics of Nigeria, Dr. Joseph Akishola. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
And that's Health Matters for this week. Thank you so much for being a part of it, for all of you who were able to call in. Thank you so much. We can continue the conversation on Twitter at Yomi_O. Bye for now.